Hey guys, welcome back to the Science Factory. My name is Mr. Brian, and today we're going to be celebrating that our channel has passed the 200 subscriber mark on YouTube by teaching you guys how to make your very own homemade bouncy balls. These things even work on carpet. First, mix half a cup of warm water and a tablespoon of borax. Make sure to mix it thoroughly. Next, you're going to mix together 2 tablespoons of glue, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 10 drops of food coloring, and glitter if you want. And again, mix thoroughly. I recommend using 2 popsicle sticks because that way you can scrape one off with the other. The more thoroughly you have it mixed at this point, the better it's going to turn out. Next, you're going to use your popsicle sticks to scrape as much mixture as you can into a ball and then drop that into the borax solution. You might want to don some gloves. After about 10 seconds, it should start to harden, and then you can pull it back out. At this point, I recommend squishing it and mushing the borax solution into it because you want the borax solution to cross-link all of the molecules within the whole structure of your bouncy ball. You can test it really quick to see if the color is running still, and in this case it's not, so I'm going to take off my gloves. Keep in mind that if you do this, you might still get some pink on your hands, but it shouldn't be as bad as earlier on, and it'll help you roll it into a ball shape much more easily. The longer you roll it, the harder it's going to get, and that's a good thing. You don't want a ball full of mushy goop in the middle. Well, there you have it. I've got a pink bouncy ball, and it's pretty cool. As you continue to let this dry, I would roll it every few minutes for the first half hour, and as it hardens, it should bounce better and better. And that is how you make a homemade bouncy ball. In order to make this video, I tried a few different recipes and I tried a few different batches of bouncy balls, and I definitely learned from it. So I wanted to try to help you guys avoid some of the most common mistakes when making a homemade bouncy ball by sharing some of those tips and tricks with you about what I learned. So one of the most important things that I learned is that the recipes that recommend less borax or less of the borax solution, in my experience, tended to end up with flat bouncy balls. For example, this one, which is most decidedly not a ball shape, it's more of a hockey puck and it doesn't really bounce. Just didn't work out very well. No good. Bad times. Another thing I learned from trying a few different recipes is that some recipes tell you to put the glue mixture into the borax solution, and other recipes tell you to put the borax solution into the glue mixture. In my experience, putting the mixture into the solution worked best because it ended up giving a nice rubbery texture instead of kind of a clay-like texture. But in the end, both of those recipes bounce just about as high as each other. Although this is the ball that I mixed the borax solution into the glue mixture, and as you can see, there are already cracks forming on it. And this is the one that I made by putting the glue mixture into the borax solution. It's got a nice shiny texture to it, just like a real bouncy ball. Another thing that's really important to note is that these bouncy balls are not actually made of rubber, and unfortunately they will flatten over time, but it's pretty easy to fix. Just pick it up and roll it again before you use it each time. I recommend storing these in an airtight container because you don't want them to dry out too much, just like if you've tried making slime at home, and then each time you play with it, you can take it out and roll it a little bit before you get started. Another thing that's important is that when you first make the bouncy ball, it'll seem like it's hardened and it's all done, but you should come back every few minutes for about half an hour just to check on it and re-roll it a little bit. I've found that that helps it keep its shape better in the future, but of course you can always just make the bouncy ball, let it flatten out, and then just roll it back into a ball whenever it is that you want to try using it. Another thing I tried to keep the ball spherical while it was drying was to put it into a round container like this. Now, if you don't have a round container about the same size as the ball at your home, I put a link in the description below for a spherical ice cube tray, and that should help to keep your bouncy balls nice and round as they dry. If you did want to add glitter to your bouncy ball, I found that the Elmer's glitter glue is a pretty nice option because it doesn't leave a glitter mess everywhere. But on the same token, the pieces of glitter are much smaller because they don't want it to disrupt the effectiveness of the glue. So if you want a bouncy ball with big shiny chunks of glitter, I would recommend going old school and just using actual glitter. Another thing that I learned that you might have noticed from this ball is that the glitter glue doesn't exactly lend a lot of color to the ball. So this one ended up very pale purple, and so I would suggest if you want a brightly colored ball like this one, that you add food coloring even if you're using colored glue. And my final tip for you guys is this actually makes a really great art project for a movie night or a sleepover with kids, because the kids can watch a movie and absent-mindedly roll the ball, and they'll be likely to roll the ball for a lot longer because they're distracted by the movie. Remember, these bouncy balls are certainly not made to last, but the more you roll them, the more thoroughly you mix them, and the more careful you are to keep them from drying out, the longer they will last, and the better they'll work. Overall, if these bouncy balls aren't the longest lasting, but I still think it's really cool to be able to make your own bouncy ball. And when we've done this in the past, kids have had a lot of fun playing with their bouncy balls just on the one day that they made it. So I think it's definitely worth giving this project a try, especially to show your kids how you can make something from scratch and how much we should appreciate the little things, like that you can buy a bouncy ball that doesn't melt over time for just $0.25. I love helping kids to appreciate the little things. So my question for you today is, what do you think is a more fun project? Making a homemade bouncy ball or making homemade slime? Also, I know that there's a million videos on YouTube about making slime, but I'm wondering if you guys would like to see what our favorite slime recipes are. Please let us know in the comments down below, and we'll definitely consider making a slime video if you guys would like to see another one of those on YouTube. Well, that's it for today, guys. I really appreciate all of the feedback you've been leaving us this week. Please keep it up. It definitely helps us to create better and better content for you in the future. I'm Mr. Brian, and I'll see you guys next week. Stay awesome. Why didn't Cinderella make the basketball team? She kept running away from the ball. Do you know where hamburgers like to dance? The meatball. Why did the football coach go to the bank? To get his quarterback. Do you know why the basketball game got so hot? It's because all of the fans left.